Jester, how are you?
Oh, hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back. I do appreciate it. I can't wait to get back with you and do some more Game Caddy, man.
Yeah, I took it easy on you in lesson number one, um, and you rose to the occasion.
Yes, you did take it easy on me, and I don't think you're going to take it easy on me in this episode, though.
Well, you had two pretty clean holes at Magnolia, which is, of course, Augusta National. And as a result of your player, I think it was Cory Pavin, hitting the ball so straight and narrow, we really didn't show off a lot of the features of the Game Caddy or stump you with too many, challenging situations. Tonight, let's play Seaside, and I bet that changes.
I think you're right. I think you're right. We
Okay.
should introduce some things. Nobody's learning anything when I hit the ball down the middle of the fairway every time. So
Yeah, well, they may be learning that app is a really easy game to play, and this should be no problem. And
piece of
tonight
cake.
they may come away with a different impression. Not that it's a difficult game to play; it's a difficult game to play well. I guess that's the way I wanted to say that.
Yeah, much. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So
Tonight
so
we're gonna run into a few things. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. And before we jump into all this, I've been meaning to ask you, and I've been somewhat impolite. You're still making your own videos, right? I know you don't focus, specifically on APBA. It's one of many different things that you cover on your channel. Are you still doing all that?
I do it every night. In fact, last night I did my review show for the 23 different baseball sims that I play, and yeah, it's generated a lot of views and talk. And yes, so I'm always on my channel doing things. Yes,
Well, good for you, and thank you for making time to do this with me tonight. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you doing this for everyone, not only for me, but for helping everyone because what we're doing here tonight hopefully will help a couple people down the
Okay.
line.
Yeah. Well, we're recording this. We're not live right now, so there won't be anybody jumping in. I decided to do a recording because, as last time, we have some technical challenges here that I'm still trying to make sure I can handle on my end. Not with the Game Caddy, but with the camera work and microphones and all that other stuff. So until I get a little bit more comfortable with that, I don't want to go live because then people start chatting. They want you to interact with them, understandably. And there's only so many balls I can juggle at one time. So this will be recorded, and hopefully people will get a chance to look at it either later tonight or in the near future.
Absolutely. Let's
All
hope.
right. So before we get started with playing tonight, I did last Friday. I did a lesson with Jeff Boating, who is a longtime APBA golf player. He's been playing APBA golf for the last 10 years, but he's relatively new to the Game Caddy. And so he wanted to do a lesson with me on, how can the Game Caddy help him to play quicker and, let's say, more efficiently. And that recording went really well. It's up on the Game Caddy Play channel if you want to take a look at it, and I encourage you and others to do that. It builds off what you and I did in the first lesson, but there's a couple things I wanted to go back and address. One of these things is me, for whatever reason, sometimes my brain just shuts down and the wrong things come out of my mouth. Some of my close friends and family have a nickname for me. They call me Wiki, as in Wikipedia, because I seem to know a lot, and half of what I say is wrong. And this is an example of me doing that. So let me just quickly revisit one thing in particular that I said wrong in that video that I want to make sure people have a clearer understanding of what's really going on. And so I'm gonna call up my screen here for a second so that it'll be a little bit easier for folks to see what I'm talking about. Okay, and maybe one thing I'll do here is just take us off the screen so that it's a little bit easier to see what I want to do. And where I misstepped was with the configuration settings. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to click this button that says configuration settings. And I talk about at the near the very end of my discussion of what all these things are, I talk about the IR scramble and what it does. And I won't repeat what I said wrong, but let me tell you what it actually does. In the APBA master game rules, nowhere in there does it say that you're supposed to make a scramble adjustment when the ball is in the intermediate rough. It talks about doing that when the ball is in the regular rough, or when it's in the trees and sand and so on and so forth. But it doesn't say anything about whether you should make that scramble adjustment or not when the ball's in the irregular rough. And so in the intermediate rough. So when because of that, the original setting, and let me do this to make it a little bit easier to see my cursor. When it's set on original, it's not making that scramble adjustment. When you click on modified, it now applies whatever that scramble number is to that to the line when it's in the intermediate rough. Now, in case anybody's unclear on what's he talking about, scramble adjustment. All right, just to remind you, and I think I've got. Let me close this. And I'll just go ahead and close this as well. You'll remember that every APBA golfer, with the modern player cards, has ratings on it that are called the master game ratings. And one of those ratings is a scramble number. And in this case, I just put up a sample example here that's no real player. It just wanted to be able to make the point. And the scramble rating is a 5 for this example. Now, depending on whether you're in, the rough or the trees or whatever, this number can be added or subtracted to whatever your lie roll is. Okay, and once you select modified for the intermediate rough setting that I was just showing you on the configuration settings menu, it will do that just the way it would do it for regular rough when the ball's in the intermediate rough. But if it's set to original, it's going to ignore this scramble number. And normally, the higher the scramble number, the better it is for the player. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that was one thing I just said wrong in the recording last week. The other thing, I didn't say it wrong, but there's probably, sometimes you tell a joke, or I do, and and people aren't laughing. And it's because I didn't really get to the punchline, or I didn't say the punchline the right way. Well, an example of that is I go into a rather lengthy discussion towards the end of that video regarding selecting your path. And I'm not going to repeat that. If you want to understand about all of that, go back and watch that video. But you have an option of choosing, in this particular example, of whether that shot's going to be from the south or for the west. And it doesn't matter which one I choose, because the point I want to make is this, is that after you take the shot, okay, what's going to happen is that shot, using the approach caddy and only the approach caddy, that shot is going to be taken from the player's perspective, meaning his position relative to the tee. So if he is hitting, in this case, from the south, okay, then these numbers will appear with that perspective in mind. If we didn't have this particular option come up, but if he was hitting from the north, okay, then those numbers would look different. They would be the same on the APBA shot result board, but they would look different in the approach caddy, because the approach caddy is smart enough to make the adjustment, because the approach caddy knows which direction the player is hitting from. Now, I'm telling you that, but you actually, as a player, don't need to concern yourself with any of that, And here's the punchline that I left out in that last recording. All you need to do is look up here at where that shot went, okay? Because it will make all of the orientation adjustments for you, all the distance adjustments for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is look up here in the new ball location tool, and it will tell you where that shot ended up. And that was the piece that I didn't emphasize well enough in that last video. Got it?
Lovely. Yep. I mean, a lot of what you said is over my head, but yes, I got it.
Okay. Is there what piece of that was hard for you to follow?
Well, I understand the shooting from the south or the east, and that's based, I don't know when the time to switch that is, why you'd want to switch it. I kind of understand why, because obviously if I'm really far east of the pin, but I'm on the pin line, then it would be easier to shoot from the east than the south.
Okay, so I do cover all of those questions in the previous video with Jeff Boating. Okay, but let me give you the short answer to that. In truth, you never have to use this path button if you don't want to. It is there because some people know the boards, the approach boards, shot result boards well enough that they know that if there is a shot that's going to miss from a particular distance, it may have a tendency to miss right, let's say, okay? And so this gives you the ability to orient the player so in order to compensate for that. And let me give you an example I think you will be familiar with. You've seen the absolute outcomes on some approach shots where it will say something like 0 right or left 5 yards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've seen that? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you think there's a likelihood that that might be your shot result, okay, then you might want to orient or change your path in order to take advantage of that so that you can get where that shot ends up to be actually on the pin itself. So that would be one example. But I will tell you, you don't have to use this path button. Most people who use the Game Caddie probably don't, and I only rarely use it, but it's a feature that's available if that's important to you. And whether you use it or not, all that matters in terms of knowing where that ball ended up is looking up here at the new ball location tool. It will do all of the adjustments in here for you. You don't need to override anything. Just look up here, and that will tell you where your ball ended up.
Lovely. Good
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's have some fun. Let's get into what people really want to do when they pull out the APBA golf game. They want to play golf. So I'm going to shut down my caddy, and we'll use your caddy.
Okay, you want to use my caddy? All right.
So let me make some adjustments on my end. All right, and we're going to play Seaside tonight. Here is hole number 1. And I'm going to make some adjustments here and put us back up on the screen for the time being. And I'm going to add our scorecard from last time in here. So as I mentioned, we played a couple of holes at Magnolia, and we've got information on the scorecard that we want to get rid of. So how do we do that, Jester? How do we clear the scorecard?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Okay, so you've got a button there that is sort of purplish in color.
Oh, reset scorecard. Yeah. Okay.
So if you click that button, it will clear out all the scores that are in there and all the notes.
So this is if you're playing, you're got a couple holes on your belt. You say, "Oh, I don't want to play this course." You want to switch it to a different course or whatever. Boom! You just click on this button and it's going to reset everything.
Well, that's one scenario. The more common scenario is you finished a round and you want to play another round, either with the same or different golfers.
Oh, really?
Now,
Like back-to-back rounds? What are people crazy out there?
So if there is a difference here. So if you hit reset the scorecard button, so you've done that. So that will just clear out the numbers there and the notes. It does a couple of other little things that I won't go into, but it's different than the button that's the pink button there that says clear a Game Caddie. And clear a Game Caddie puts the Game Caddie back at its factory settings. So it will take you back to basic game mode. It will, take you to where you have no wind. It will, clear out all your players. It will, it'd be like it's a brand new caddy. And normally you don't need to do anything that drastic because normally you don't want to have to go back in and put stuff that was already in there before. So hitting reset scorecard is probably the more common way that you'll get ready to play again.
Yes.
All right.
I got you.
Okay.
Makes
let's
sense.
So Seaside has different wind conditions than Magnolia. So we need to address that. How are we going to do that? Do you remember?
We're going to go to the conditions tab.
That's right.
Yes. Do we have to load the course first or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
But what I'm going to do is,
people out there, I do have my Seaside course ready to go as well. So.
Right. So you can either do what?
So what we have to do here is we're going to click the dice to have it roll, right? No, we're not doing that yet. Okay.
No, we want to set it up for the wind that Seaside has.
Okay. Oh, so we got to click on the course and change it from Mongolia to Seaside.
Well, that's one of the things we need to do, and you can do that right now since you're focused on it. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So what we need to configure the Game Caddie. So let's go click on configuration settings.
Configuration, right.
Okay. So this is almost always something you should do before you begin any round is reset the scorecard and then go to the game configuration settings to make sure that it's set up the way that you want it to be set up for how you want to play. All right. So we're fine with game rules being master. We're fine with line types being master. The alt, hole, and club distances is original. We covered all that in our first video. Wind controls. We need to make a change here because Seaside has special instructions on the course boards that tell you how to handle wind for each hole. So instead of standard, what do we need?
Modified.
There you go. And then you can do auto roll, which I highly recommend just so it saves you from having to click the dice again. And then on each shot is only really used for birthplace. So you can skip that. We can keep the dog leg procedure as original. And let me, I'm looking at the other settings here. The only other things is to decide what putting boards you want to use, the regular or major championship.
We're going major championship today, boys.
Okay.
We're going major championship.
Okay, and then just go ahead and apply those settings.
We're making it as difficult as we can.
Okay, now you can select a pin number or you can roll for it, and that's where the dice would come in.
We're going to roll for it.
Okay. So our pin number looks like number 6. So how do we get that up there?
So I'm going to change that 1 to a 6. I just click it a couple of times till I get to a 6. There we
you go. Perfect. And now let's do the day wind.
All right, and that's another roll?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a 42, and this is a J-rated course.
Yep. So it's going to be blustery. There we go. Blustery.
All right. And then we need the course conditions.
And that's another roll, one more.
Yep.
All right. And
Did
that
you
is
roll? It
going
looks like
to
you did
be, it
seven.
is a J court.
No,
No, I'm
above
sorry.
that. Yep,
It's a 2d6, so it's a 7, which is normal.
yep. So we just leave that the way it is.
All right.
Now, there's one other thing we have to do with the wind, because Seaside has prevailing winds. We need to figure out, whether it's an A or B. Those are the only two wind types that Seaside has. And so if you roll a 1 through 5, it'll be a type A. And if you roll a 6, it's a type B. And that's written on the course board. So
Yep.
roll the dice. Did you roll it? I wasn't looking.
No, I have not rolled
Okay.
it yet.
So 1. So it'll be an A.
It's a 1, so it's an A. Okay.
So down by wind type under the Seaside, yep, put an A in there. And that just reminds us.
And we physically type A in there. Okay.
Correct.
Let's make it capital. There we go.
All right. All right. And then we can leave tournament and round number blank. We don't need to do anything with that. What's the next step?
Input your golfer.
Yep. And we're just going to play with one tonight.
Okay.
And you got Cory Pavin in there. You can leave him.
Cory Pavin in there. Should we just leave him in there?
Yeah, that'd be the quickest. Get rid of that one momentum.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that, and we should be okay. I'll keep the same clubs that I had last time: 3 wood, 5 wood, and 2 iron. And okay. Do I click the reset player?
No, because that'll clear everything out of that.
Okay.
You got in there already.
I didn't know if that would reset.
If you wanted to, no, it won't reset the momentum or the balance. It'll reset everything.
Okay.
Okay. So let's load a hole.
Okay, so we're gonna click down on Seaside at the very bottom. We're gonna say transfer hole.
Yep.
And we're gonna say hole number 1, please. Thank you very much. And the correct hole number is not consecutive with the previous hole number. Do you want to roll this hole number?
Yeah, and that's because the last hole we played with this Game Caddie was hole number 2. So it's looking for hole 3 basically, but we don't want hole 3. All right, so look at your dice roll. What's your dice roll?
My dice roll is down here at the bottom. Okay, It's a 21, a 1, and a 3.
Okay, so you only ever have to worry with the dice roll number, that leftmost box. That's the only one that we care about.
Okay, 21.
Right. 21. Okay, and if you look up at the hole notes at the top there, it says prevailing wind A is a crosswind right. So click on the on the wind rolls menu. Click on crosswind right.
Crosswind right. Got it.
Yep. And then click continue.
Continue.
And thankfully, you're going to have no wind because at 26 and lower is no wind, and I just know that.
Piece of cake. This game is easy. All right, we got our golfer. We picked our clubs. We loaded the hole. We loaded the course, the conditions. We are ready for hole number 1. We're going to hit the all-in-one menu.
Yep. And after you do that, I'm going to show the hole.
Okay.
There we go. So that's hole number 1. And you can see you've got a normal dog leg there at 240 that goes to the right. So anything that you hit that is longer than that and is on the right or toward the right will be pushed to the left. And so it could end up over there in that bunker. It could be in the trees. It could be in the rough. So be careful about hitting too far on your tee shot.
Yep.
And then we've got some other things up there around the green with the red hash marks showing different directions that the ball may roll if you land or rest on those hash marks. We'll worry more about that when we get back to the second shot. So I'm going to put you back up here again, I think. There you go.
All right. I think we are just going to hit a 5 wood, 215. Okay. And because there's a big wide section over on the left, I think I'm going to aim 10 left.
All right, your call. Yeah, how to do that?
Yep. I'm going to come over to the left-hand side over here. We're under the aim section, and I'm going to say left, and I'm going to put 10 in there.
Yep.
And then I'm going to click somewhere else so it takes it. And now we are ready to rock and roll with the swing. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. The roll.
You might have to click twice.
Got to click twice. Third. Uh-oh. I didn't have his card. I'm dumb. Sorry. Let me get
That's
my
all right.
box out.
That makes two of us. I didn't grab it either. So I can help
grab
you.
my box. Here it is. I got it. 36. Oh, this can't sound. It doesn't sound great. 36 under the wood is a 17. Oh boy.
Okay. So yeah.
It's not my average W, by the way. Let's take the shot. We're gonna end up 195 left, 35.
All right. So let's look at where that is on the course before we 195 left, 35. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's 30. That's 35. So you're in the intermediate rough. So you're going to get your full roll here. What's your fairway roll?
Fairway roll is 15.
So we would cut that in half and round up. So that would, oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. You get your full fairway roll, so you get all 15 of that. So 5, 10, 15. And
Okay.
let's see.
15.
I believe you are now in the regular rough. You are full on in the regular rough based on what I see there.
All righty.
Let me that marker may not be in the best
expert opinion. I trust it completely.
Well, and it's really close, but it looks like you're a full square into the rough as best as I can tell. So we'll come back here to the Game Caddie. So what you'll need to do is put the 15 in, which you've already done, and then click the update arrow. So you're at 210 left 35.
And that is going to be regular rough.
Yes.
Record shot number 1. It's in the book, sir.
Okay. Now, you'll notice the whole notes say second shots carry -5. Okay, so that means you're hitting uphill a little bit. So how are you going to have the Game Caddie handle that?
I am going to come over to the left-hand side again, and I'm going to look under the results from the board.
You're warm.
The lie adjustment.
You're hot. Okay, so yeah, see that white box there next to course adjustments?
Yeah, it's right here.
There you go, -5.
I'm going to put -5.
Right.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
All right, distance-wise, we're gonna. Which pin is our pin?
It is pin number 6.
Oh, right in the center line. Great. We can
just off of it. Yeah.
So we're gonna do 185. We're looking at 190. I'm gonna look at the all-in-one menu. We're gonna look at a 2-iron. 2-iron. I'm gonna take a 2-iron shot.
Okay, and before you do that, again, I want to.
Is there a lie that I have to worry about?
Well, the game. That's one of the things I wanted to point out to you. So if you look back over there at course adjustments, where you put that -5 in, okay, there's the Game Caddie, the all-in-one menu did another lie roll for you when you opened it up, and you see another just above that -5, you'll see another -5. Okay. So that means
tricky little Dicky. Look at what he did.
So that means your carry objective before you open the all-in-one menu would have been 185, but now it makes you have to go 5 yards farther, and now it's 190 because of your lie in the regular rough. And I want to do one other thing here. I want to show you something or remind you of something. If I can, there we go. Okay. Notice up there around the green, those red hash marks, and you've got a red arrow pointing, and that red arrow is something I put on my course board. It's not printed on the APBA course board. And then you've got a yellow one that is going left from an APBA golf perspective. So just be careful, because I'll come back to the hole notes here.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna roll all over the place, isn't it?
So shots that are short, landing on the red hash mark, you have the roll and round down. If they're resting on the red hash mark, then they roll back 10 yards and presumably stop. And then shots landing on the yellow hash marks bounce 5 yards left. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is make sure that you carry the ball far enough that you don't end up on those hash marks if you can, if you've got the club to do it.
I don't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I go from 185 to 210.
Yeah, that's right. So you can try to thread the needle there, or you can hit long and take your chances. I'd be a little bit careful about hitting long just because you got some out of bounds.
Out of bounds
over there
yeah.
too.
I'm going to stick with my 185 2-iron.
Okay.
And I see the 6 is actually the pin, not the yellow dot. The yellow dot's the center line, right? Or the center of the green, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're just left of that. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Let's take a shot. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
63. What are you doing with the dice roller today, huh? This is a wood again.
Yeah.
It's an 8.
Okay.
Which is not my favorite number in the world. Take the shot. So we're going to end up 370 left 10. And that is going to hit the yellow.
Yeah, that yellow is so faint on mine, it's hard to say. But what the note says is that if you land on the yellow, you bounce 5 yards left. So that means you're going to bounce into that bunker.
Right in the bunker. Yep. I think that's where I'm going right there.
Okay.
Yep.
So we need to account for that 5 yards left. And we do that back over at the course adjustments. So where we have those two -5s, go back over there with the cursor, and where it says left, put a 5 in there.
5 there. Yeah. Okay.
And then when you update, it will put you in the right spot.
So as 50, 60, 70, 5, 10, 15, boom. Yep. All right. I'm happy with that. All right. So we just update.
Yep.
And we are going to be in the bunker.
Yeah. So you have two types. You have ones that are 100 yards or closer, and then you have those that are longer. The ones that are longer are fairway bunkers, and the ones that are 100 yards or closer are sand traps.
So we'll take the sand trap.
That's right.
And hit record.
That's it.
Okay, now this red lies button is really flashing in my face. What happened there?
Well, nothing really, other than
Okay.
You're in the bunker there.
Okay.
So you can now you'll notice that the approach caddy shows you some numbers. Okay, your call distance is 15 yards. The to pin distance is 10 yards. And as I've said many times, when you're 20 yards or closer to the pin, you use the to pin number. If you're more than 20 yards, then you use the called distance. And that's an APBA rule. That's not a Game Caddie thing. Okay, so open the all-in-one menu.
All-in-one menu.
Now you have a decision to make. You have a sand point, and you could use the sand point. That's up in Cory Pavin's ratings there near the top. Now the sand point, what it will do is, in essence, it will use the fairway column instead of the sand column for taking this shot. From a practical standpoint, from this distance, what it's likely to do is to shave about 2 feet off of the result of wherever that shot ends up. Now, that's not a lot, but it's not insignificant either, especially when you're using the major championship putting boards. Your call, or you can save it for another time.
I'm going to save it for a more difficult situation.
Okay.
I think we're within 20 yards. That's pretty
you're
good.
with it. You're 10. You're
10
down below
yards.
that. Yeah, there you
So
go.
I click on the 5 to 10 group.
Exactly. And just
All right.
roll the dice.
And then that is the A column.
It will be. Yep.
Okay. Oh, and I don't need that. I got your dice rollers. All right, come on. Let's see a good number this time. 53 is not a good number, by the way. I'm just saying.
It's okay.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
7.
Put that in there.
Take the shot. That's 380. Right at 380.
No, yeah, so ignore that. Whenever you're 20 yards or closer, don't look
Oh,
at
it's just going to give us
that.
a putt distance.
That's
Yeah.
right. It will
So we're going to
always.
click on ball on green then,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then we're going to players to putting board because it's already given us our distance. We don't need to calculate it.
Perfect.
Players to putting board. Here we go. 7 foot for the paw. For the paw. We're going for it. 7-footer for paw. Let's go. Shot is 54.
Terrible roll. That's the worst.
You're 31. Are you kidding me? At 31, we left it 5 feet.
Yeah.
So, oh my God! So we're gonna come over here to 5 feet.
Yeah,
and this Game Caddie with the dice roll is just they're so broken. It's so broken. We're gonna roll again.
No, you've already got your roll done for you. The WT. Use the WT number.
Oh, use the double T. So it's a 16, which is a 25. Are you kidding me?
But that's good for a bogey.
I don't want a bogey, man.
No, well, you've already taken 4 strokes, and this is your 5th, so you don't have an option here.
Boo.
So
okay.
It's in.
All right. No, boo. Right? In?
Yeah, and you're going to need to click somewhere else before you do that. There you go. Okay, you've played your first hole on Seaside with prevailing winds.
I'm not a big fan of this course.
you're a pretty quick to judge here, but my guess is that a lot of people are not a fan of this course, particularly on blustery days.
I guess. All right, let's go back and load hole 2, Seaside.
Yeah, this is going to be a short par 5.
Yeah, we're birdieing this one.
All right, so what do you do?
We got a die roll of 51.
Yep.
And we got a crosswind right.
Yep.
Continue.
All right.
Oh, we do have a crosswind right up here. Second roll is going to be required.
Yep.
So that means it's going to push the ball to the right.
Perhaps. Right? It depends on the roll, but perhaps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but if it's going to push the ball, it's going to go right.
Yes.
So I'm going to aim 10 left.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to just remind you of, you see that red bogey up there in the upper left?
Yep.
That's there to remind you that if you want, you could use one of your 2 bounce back points, in which case you would be able, you can't aim, but you will be able to choose his average W, which is a 7, for the shot result number. It's up to you.
All right, you convinced me. I will use a bounce back number. Fine.
Now, unfortunately, it's still going to be affected by whatever the wind is.
I can't aim, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I still do see all in one menu.
All right.
And
you can change your club. I mean, you don't have to use a driver.
Well, I'm using a driver.
Okay. And so then just come down to the white shot box and put a 7 in there.
7.
Now, 7 is going to go to the left. And so it's going to go, I can't remember if it's 10 or 15 to the left, but it's going to go to the left, which could help offset any crosswind right. But if you choose to take your average W bonus, it will shave 5 yards off of that adjustment. It's up to you.
All right, take the shot.
Okay. So it went 250 right 10 with a roll of 25. So I'm going to go ahead.
Right 10, 25. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, 250 right 10.
Wow, that really pushed it right, didn't it? Whew.
Let's go back.
How come I didn't get the little menu to? Oh, because I had to hit my average W thing, didn't I?
Well, let's look at the wind. So I got to largen this. So yeah, you had 20 right wind.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Okay. Alrighty. Yep. But
you're in pretty good shape now. This is again a tough hole to put the ball on the green. But if anybody can do it, I know you can.
I think that was a joke, wasn't it?
No.
Cory Pavin, come on. He can barely, I think it's, how far are we doing? All right. So we can update the shot, right?
Correct.
Oh, wait,
Did
no.
you
I
put
got to
the
put
roll
my
in? Put the
roll
roll
in
in.
there. Yeah, I got to put my roll in first. I got all 25 rolls. So 275 right, 10.
Yep.
Update. We are in the fairway,
Yep.
baby. Okay. So we're 220. Oh, 225 away is not horrible.
No. Now, and you've got some whole notes there that address things that happen basically before the 475 yard mark. So, as long as you clear that 475 yard mark, you're not going to have to deal with those things.
All
Or
right.
maybe it's only the 450 yard mark. It might just be the 450. Yeah, I think that's right.
So we're looking 225. All right. Unfortunately, that number is a bad number for me. I have 215 and 235 are the two clubs I have.
Well, no, a 5 wood at 215 would be good because you're probably going to get about 10 roll with that.
Yeah, at least, right? At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go 5 wood. That sounds like a plan.
Now, unfortunately, you can't knock this shot down to counteract the effects of the crosswind. You can only do that with a 5 iron to sand wedge. But, but again, you're shooting for a par 5 green and 2. So
Right.
you could be in a worse situation.
Right. All right, let's. I don't know if I trust your dice roller, but I'm going to try it one more time. I'm due for a good one.
But before you do, just one other thing. You have a good angle, and because you are shooting for the green, under these circumstances, you can aim on your second shot on a par 5 if you want to. I'm not trying to encourage you to aim, but if you wanted to aim, you could.
Correct. I do not wish to aim.
Okay, then just roll the dice.
Because I hit 7, which tend to go left. So let's see if the dice. Oh my God! What are you doing? 52. This is a wood.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
It's a 28. It's not good at all. It's horrible. Oh my gosh. 475 right, 30.
You may be close to that road there.
Yes, we're just outside the road, but we're going to get 10 yards roll.
That's
and
right.
We're going to be almost right next to the road. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, and I'm going to show that on the screen here. So you're going to get 10 roll from that spot, and you're going to be right there. But you're going to have, you're going to have a good angle. You're going to be in the rough. You got a good angle. You got to hit it over that bunker. Again, these really tiny greens make this a challenge. But, it certainly could be worse.
So this is the regular rough?
This is the regular rough.
Okay. When do I ever use deep rough?
So you see that brown, those brown areas on your screen?
Yes.
Or not on your screen, but on your course board?
On the course board, yes.
That's deep rough.
Oh, they saw the deep rough. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So as long as I'm not in the brown, I'll be okay. All right. So regular rough it is. Let's do that.
Yep.
And we're 40 yards to the pin.
Correct. With a good angle.
Which can help. So I'm going to click on the all one, and I'm going to choose the 25 to 45.
Yeah. Now, currently in the approach caddy, you're targeted directly to the pin, and you're approaching from east of the target. And again, I'm going to come back here and steal the screen for a second and show you what that means. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what it means is that this is approaching from the east, moving in this direction here. So any shot result, okay, let me actually put it on this line. Any shot result is going to be relative to this direction, the way that the caddy currently is set. So if we got that 0, right or left 5, the 0 would put it right on the pin with the way it's currently targeting, and the right or left 5, left would go that way and right would go that way. See how that works?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, if you wanted to hit from the south, then and you got that same result, 5 would go to the right that way, and 5 would go to the left that way, which would actually be off the green. So that's why I say sometimes, not with that specific example, but when you're trying to avoid particular hazards and so forth, occasionally it makes a difference which direction you're hitting from. But mainly you can ignore that feature if you find it too complicated or just don't want to use it.
And this is telling me hitting from east of target. It's telling me it's doing that from the east. And then if I wanted to hit from the south, that's where I click the path until it hit from the south.
Yes. And and this time you would have 2 options. Occasionally you will only be able to hit from one direction. For example, if your ball is sitting on the pin center line, it will only give you the one option. There's no second option for it to select.
Okay. All right. So 25 to 45. Let's go. Yep. I 16 on the A is an 8.
Okay.
And take the shots.
Yep.
500 dead center.
All righty.
So I'm going to be 1 straight edge away, according to my calculations.
And your calculations are correct.
Hey, all right.
There you go. So you're 1 straight away.
So I'm actually, because it didn't give me a putting distance, I'm actually going to go to the putting caddy. I'm going to type in 1 straight, and I'm going to click on calculate.
Yep, you got it.
It's going to tell me how many feet is away. I'm going to click on ball on green.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play her to the putting board.
Yep.
And we are, how many feet? 7 feet again. That was so good last time. Let's try this again. 7-footer. Now this is for, let's see, that was our 1, 2, 3. Is this for 4?
Yeah, and this number of strokes that you've got are always in that little putting notes. Yeah, so you've got 3 so far.
We got 1 for a birdie here still. 7-footer.
Let's go. You can do it.
All right, come on, Game Caddie, don't screw me over. 44. That's probably in. That's a good number. 44 is an 8, and it's in. It's a birdie.
All right. Well done.
Woohoo! Click elsewhere, transfer to the back, and we're back to even par. This game's easy. It's a cake.
I have to admit, I like that hole.
That's a nice hole. I like that one for sure. All right, there's a normal dog leg, 280 yards. Add 15 yards to the flight of all tee shots. Add 5 yards to the flight of all second shots. Players may aim tee shots up to 15 yards left over the trees in front of the tee.
And you got your pin position, kind of, it's on the center line, but towards the front of that green.
Oh boy, yeah, it is. This is a birdie hole too. All right, so
the dog leg really makes this hole a little bit challenging. Not to mention if you have wind, which is we'll see how this goes.
24 is a roll. We're doing crosswind right still. Wait,
okay, let me
change.
Take a look. What's it say up there at the top?
Crosswind right. No, type A is crosswind right.
Yep, and you're not going to have any wind because that's 26 or lower.
Crosswind right. We just click that. All right. Now I'm wondering, I could, because that big green thing over there, its last hole was a birdie. I could do a momentum carry.
You could.
What do I hit? My driver would be 250. Ooh, that's not far enough. 250 is not far enough.
So tee shots carry plus 15. Let's go ahead and add that in.
Oh, that's true. 265, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that would be far enough then, wouldn't it? I think we are going to use our momentum.
Okay, that's fine. And before you open the all-in-one menu, I mean, the order doesn't matter here, but I want to make sure you don't forget to put that 15 yards in the carry box for the course adjustment.
Carry 15. Got it. All right. We're carrying extra 15. Add 4 seconds. You can aim left. Shots landing and the red crosshairs add 10 to the roll.
And that's going to be up behind the
that's
green.
On the back. That's by the green. Okay. So I am going to use my driver. I'm going to put my 7 in there and my average W, and I am going to reduce it by 5.
Okay.
And take the shots. 265 left 5 and 25 roll.
All right. Now, before you count out the roll by hand, what I strongly recommend that you do, because of that dog leg there, let me show everybody where that ball landed. Okay. It landed at 265 left 5.
Yeah.
Right. And then we're going to get 25 roll, correct?
25, yes.
All right. So put 25 in there.
I did.
And now if you look up at the new ball location, it's 290 on the center line. And that's because of that dog leg. It pushed that ball to the right.
Yep.
So that's a obviously a wonderful shot.
You couldn't get much better than that.
All right. So, and I'll move the ball up here, 290 right on the center line.
Wow, that was amazing.
There you go. Come back to the Game Caddie. Okay, well, before we go on, I want to call your attention to one of the whole notes up there. It's actually the third bullet. It says second shots, prevailing wind, and you'll notice that, and because this hole is a dog leg, it has 2 sets of wind. Okay, it has wind for your tee shot, and then it has wind for your second shot. Now, it's not altogether clear to me from reading the course notes on the actual APBA boards whether or not you're supposed to roll again for wind, or whether you take your original roll from your tee shot and convert that for your second shot. The way that I typically play it is I take whatever the roll was for the tee shot, and then I convert it for the second shot. And when I say convert it, what I mean is I change direction according to those instructions. So if it would have been a crosswind right off the tee, it then becomes a tailwind for the second shot. Now, we have no wind on this hole. So my view would be is that we don't have to take another wind roll. We would just leave it as no wind. But that's one of the tricky things about this particular hole.
Yeah, that is kind of. But we do have the carry +5, or only when there's wind we have the carry +5?
No, those kind of things. At least the way that I interpret that is that carry +5 means you're hitting downhill a little bit. It doesn't have anything to do with the wind.
Okay, so we should go to the carry and put a 5 over there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're sitting 105. 105, 105, 105. Well,
and you're going to have a good angle, of course.
And yeah, I'm in the center line, and the pin's in the center line, so we should go right at this bad boy. I would like it to go 5 yards past and then spin back. How do I do that?
Well, probably with a sand wedge. I'm guessing once you click the all-in-one menu, I'll be able to see. So it looks like maybe a gap. Well, so a gap wedge will carry 110 and it will come back 5 yards. A sand wedge will go 100 yards and come back 5 yards from the fairway in this situation.
Let's go with the gap wedge. So we're looking at 105, so that's perfect.
Yeah, and we just want to make sure you don't hit too far and end up on those red hash marks. Because if you do, then you're going to roll an additional 10 yards.
We do not want to do that. That is for sure.
All right.
Now, isn't there, what is it called? Where you can hit it really high. So
A loft shot.
So it takes off some distance.
Oh, a knockdown. Yeah, you could. Yes, that's right. You can hit a knockdown shot, which is on the all-in-one menu there, just above the reset shot button at the bottom. So if you move your cursor down to
this
that
one,
gray,
yeah, I got you.
That will knock some of the ball will not carry as far as shown on this chart.
If I do a knockdown. Right. I mean, the distance is perfect. I don't think I need to do a knockdown unless, of course, I hit it too far. Then I'd be very upset. No, I think I'm just going to hit a normal 110 shot, have it roll back. Hopefully, we'll just hit a good one. 21. And this is a approach again?
No, this is an iron.
This is an iron of 8. Ugh.
You're going to be a little bit short, I think.
400 right 5.
With -5 if you're on the green and nothing if you're not. So 400 right 5.
400. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right 5. So oof. And then it's a -5, which is not great.
But you're not on the green, I don't think.
No, we're not. We rolled off the green.
I think you're in the fairway. There's a little sliver of fairway there. I have you pin high 5 to the right. Is that what you have?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say you're actually sitting in the fairway 1 straight away.
That little sliver, you think? Okay.
Yeah, that looks like fairway to me.
All right. I'll take it.
I mean, they wouldn't put that little green there if they didn't want you to use it. That's I don't know if there's any truth to that whatsoever, but that's the way I choose to look at it.
So that is going to be update because we're not on the green yet, right?
So that's correct.
Okay, update.
And
then we're going to say
that says 395 right 5. What does it say that? So that's a different spot. I was looking at 400 right 5, but 395 is going to be actually in the rough.
Because we lost the 5 because of but that was only on the green, so I shouldn't have lost the 5.
Right. You put the adjusted roll in there.
I put the 5 in there when we weren't on the green.
Yeah. So go ahead and record this. There's nothing we can do at this point. No, you can't do that. Click the record button. It doesn't matter. We're going to erase this. Just click the record button.
Okay.
We're going to erase it. Go down to that pencil eraser.
Here. Okay.
And right when it comes up, erase number 2.
Okay.
Shot number 2. Okay, now we're going to go over to the place ball location tool. Put a 400 in there for distance CL, and then put a 5 in the right box. Click place ball, and now click fairway, or it's already defaults to fairway. Okay, so now the ball is where it's supposed to be. Now you can putt from that distance if you want, or you can chip. You can putt because you're actually in the fairway within 2 squares of the green. Now you might say, well, how far would I be putting from? Well, we can figure that out. So put a in the putting caddy, put a 1 in there.
And the diagonal?
No, no, because you're 1 straight away. Put it 1 straight.
No, I'm 1 diagonal. Oh no, you're right. I'm 1 straight. I keep looking at the wrong number. My bad. I keep looking at the yellow thing, but you're right. I'm 1 straight, so 1 straight. I put 1 there. Okay.
Okay, and then click calc.
All right.
All right. So you're 6 feet away, but because you're 1 square off the green, you would have to use the next column longer, which would be the 7 to 9 foot column, which is not bad. I mean, if it were me, I would putt from there.
Yeah, I'm going to putt.
Okay, so then to the right of where your cursor is, you see something that says putter off green?
Putter off green, yep.
Click that. Are you chipping with the putter? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it did a dice roll for you. In the P column, what's a 36?
P column and 36 is a 24.
All right, so what we have to do is come over to the 7 to 9 foot column in the go. You have to always go for it when you do this. And then come down and look for that 24. And what is it?
It's a 2.
By 2 feet.
Yeah.
All right. So put a 2 in that box. There you go, and click continue. All right. The ball's already on the green. You don't have to click that. You'll notice it already says green there. Players the putting boards, and now just put out from 2 feet for a par.
Bummer.
56.
56.
These are awful
9.
rolls.
It's a 9 with 2 feet.
No. In the P column.
56 is a 24.
Yeah, and that's still going to be good.
It's still going to be in, though. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Had me nervous there for a second.
All right.
All right. Well,
So,
I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, that was par. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a chance at a birdie. We just missed it.
All right.
Right.
You want to keep playing?
Yeah, let's do one more hole.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, I'm happy to do it.
Another par 4.
We're showing people a bunch of different things here.
Yeah, that's what I think this is a good option to do. All right, so we're going to Seaside. We're going to hole transfer. We're going to number 4. We're going to okay. We got a 16 dice roll, which means there's no win again.
Yeah.
All right, we got 331 par 4 notes. Gentle dog leg.
All right, and I'll show the course here.
We do not want to go right on this one.
Absolutely. You've got those cliffs, and my strong encouragement is to stay away from them if at all possible, because it's a certain penalty stroke. And then to the left, you have what's just, it looks like is that a regular bunker or a deep bunker? It looks like it's just a regular bunker there at 225.
Yeah, it looks to me like a regular bunker. And then some rough around it.
Yeah. And that might just be intermediate rough too.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we don't want to get crazy on this hole, that is for sure. We're definitely aiming 10 left. All
right, so before you do anything, tee shots carry -5 yards, so make sure you put that in the carry course adjustments.
Oh, yeah, -5 down there. Carry -5. Okay.
No, not there. Not there. That's the shot results.
There. Not bad.
Like course adjustments.
Carry -5. Yep. Sorry. Okay. Aiming 35 left. Is that far enough?
Well, I mean, you can certainly do that. You've got out of bounds over on the left too, but I guess my encouragement would be don't use a driver no matter what you do.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at let's go left 10, and then we'll.
And if you hit a 2-iron, you do get to take advantage of that APBA special rule that converts any dice roll that's a 14, 34, or 54 to your average W. So that's the advantage of a 2-iron. But a 2-iron is only going to carry you 200. Well, that would be far enough, really, because it would get you onto the fairway. Because you're not going to have any trouble reaching the green with your second shot. The distance isn't the issue on this.
All right, yeah, we'll try your 2-iron hack. That sounds good.
And you can aim left if you want.
Yep, I'm going to aim left 10.
Okay.
All right, and let's roll the dice. Oh, no, 54.
This works great. This works great. You can put any number in there you want. Watch what's going to happen.
Oh, really?
His 54 is a 17. We played this beautifully. Put a 17 and click take shot. Watch what happens. Do you want to convert the PRN to the player's average W? Yes, you do. Absolutely.
I do. Yes, I do.
So click that. And now, do you want to reduce it 5 yards? Yes, you do.
Reduce 5 yards, yes.
Okay. Now, it's already changed it to a 7. It's taken the shot. So you went 195, left 10.
Ooh, just barely made it. Woo.
That's fine. This is smart play.
And we're gonna get 20 roll on this bad boy.
See, it was 195. It was left 10, wasn't it? I forgot what it said.
It was 195 left 10. Yes.
And then 20 roll.
20 roll.
Okay, I'm moving the ball marker, and that's a real nice shot. I mean, that's better than most of my shots in this hole for sure.
All right. I will be happy to take the update and fairway and record that bad boy for. Whew, nice.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, we're only got 120 left. I only want to go to the pin though. I don't want to go. I don't want to go towards the flag. So let's talk about that.
Okay, and before you do anything, second shots carry -5 yards. So make sure you put that in.
Carry -5.
No, wrong box.
Oh my God! Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? All right.
So your carry objective now is 125.
125. Actually, that's to the pin though. But I want to go. I want to go 120. I want to go for the center of the green.
Okay, so I'll just show other people what you're looking at here. So what you're hoping to do is instead of going for the pin, you want to go for this spot right here.
Right, because if I go long this way, I'm going to be at her.
I think that's a smart play. It's a smart play.
All right, I'm learning something. You're rubbing off on me in a good way, I think.
Well, yeah, I have plenty of faults. Hopefully, it doesn't rub off on you as well.
So this 125 Game Caddie is showing me is to the pin location or to the center?
Yes, yeah.
Which one is it?
It's to the pin center line. So it's you really want to think 120.
I want to go 120. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So 120 for me is going to be a pitching wedge.
And that will probably back up 5 yards. The pitching wedge, gap wedge, and sand wedge often back up 5 yards when the ball is struck from the fairway. It's not always the case, but it's frequently the case. That would still put you right on the green.
Yeah. 9 iron. When do they normally they don't roll? They just normally just sit?
Correct. And if you decide to go with a 9 iron, you definitely want to knock it down. And that would probably carry it to 125.
Which is perfect.
That would be going directly for the pin.
Yeah, right. I mean, it would end up perfect if it went there. Yes, correct. I'm just afraid he won't hit it as far with the pitching wedge, but we'll try a pitching wedge and we'll see if he can get it all the way up there. All right.
Now you do have, if you are afraid of those cliffs, and I'm not saying that you are or that you should be, you do have a good angle. So if you wanted to, you could aim, but you'd have to aim to the right, which you don't want to do. So again, the way that I play is if you're going to hit to the same side of the center line that your ball is on, then you'd have to work the ball.
Right, work the ball.
Those are other options. But working the ball to the left with Pavin, he has a B rating there, and working the ball is always a dicey proposition.
Yeah. I think he tends to go left a little bit anyways. I think we'll just let him hit it and hope he hits a good one.
All right,
here we go. It's choose to pitching wedge. Yep. Okay. Yep. Here we go. 43. This is a iron. Oh boy. 21.
It's an 8.
8.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I looking at the wrong number? I am looking at the wrong number. Right. It is a 21. Sorry.
Yeah, 21. Okay. 330 right 15. Oh boy.
So we're gonna show you how to deal with penalty strokes here, I think. So 330 right 15. You were having such a good round too. Okay.
Oh, it's right on the edge.
Well, if it's on the edge, you're okay. Let me take a look at it.
Get your magnifying glass out there, but it might be I think it's going to be in the cliff though. It's going to be right on that
50,
edge.
10, 20, 30. I see what you mean. Yeah, it does look like it's black on dark brown, but it does look like it bounced over the cliff.
Okay.
All right. All right. And again, this is for learning purposes. So in some ways that's better, right? Because now I can show you what to do.
Exactly.
Right. All right, so let's come back to the Game Caddie here. All right, so you don't need to necessarily mark this ball with any accuracy from a Game Caddie standpoint. What we need to do is to just go ahead and record that shot. And so you hit the update arrow.
Update arrow, got it.
And you're going to select your under additional lines. It says PE penalty. Select that. Okay, record it.
Record.
All right, now we've got to drop the ball. Okay, and I'll do it on camera here. I've got a straight edge so that people can see. Wish I had a third hand here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the shot, let me take a different colored ball marker. So the shot hits here and then bounces 15. So that's, geez, boy, these lines are so hard to see. So it needs to be, I have to stand up. I've got too much glare. So 1, 2, 3. I think that's 15. Yeah, that would be another 15. So what we have to do is we have to draw a straight line from where it crossed the center line. And there's no, as we talked about before, there's no great way to do this because, balls don't move in real life the way that they move in APBA, right? They don't move at right angles, okay? But what we need to do is to consider this the point where the ball went out of bounds, right here, when it crossed over the cliff here. So you can drop, okay? Your first spot would be this point right here. So you'd be dropping in a bunker. All right, then what you have to do, and this is a golf thing, this is not an APBA thing. What you have to then do is look at, you can drop on a line from the pin location back. So you could drop anywhere along this line here. So if you don't want to drop in a bunker, which I totally get, you could actually drop it on the fairway, but you'd be dropping it at this location over here.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
All right. Did you see how I did all that? I
Yes,
couldn't
I
look
did.
at the camera while I was doing it, but
Yep, sure did.
So then what we need to do, let's go back to the Game Caddie.
I want to see you pull out your protractor though.
I actually have one of those. So over here on the Game Caddie, what we want to do is we use the place ball at location tool. And I think that ball, we would put it in the fairway at 275, right 20.
Okay, 275, right 20, place ball.
Yep.
And that is going to be
fairway.
Fairway. Got it.
Okay. So just play it normally from this spot.
Yep. All right. So we're 65, looking straight at the pin from the south, which, yep, I think that's all good. 50 to 75. This is a approach shot. Come on, Corey, roll a good number. 21. Approach is a 22.
Sorry about that.
350 left 5.
At least you went left this time. 3. Oh my goodness. Are you going to be over the cliff?
350 left 5. That is going to be a cliff again. I don't know what happened there.
It is.
You really.
Now you rolled a horrible number. Okay. So now I'm going to quiz you on how we do this, right? So I'll move the ball for you because it's supposed to bounce 15 yards towards the water. So I will do that. Who knows which way is towards the water at that juncture, but let's say it bounced 10 to the left here, and I'm going to get rid of your ball marker just because it's kind of hard to see things there. That's where the ball ended up. So what do you need to do in the Game Caddie?
I'm going to record the shot by
That's
hitting
right.
up.
And we don't care about where it is because we're going to take a penalty stroke.
We're gonna come back and hit penalty stroke again.
Yep.
And we're gonna hit record.
Yep.
And then we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put the ball now.
That's right. Now we got to place the ball.
And I was doing this just for the folks out there that are looking to, have this situation come up and they want to learn how to take care of this in the Game Caddie. It's the only reason why I did that. In fact, I did it twice because I wanted to make sure everyone got to do it twice and see it in action twice.
Well, and and in truth, what's going to happen is you may have to hit from the same spot again. Because I'm looking at this. This is not
we can't see you. There you go.
All right. So from there to there. I guess technically you don't cross over the bunker or the hazard the second time until this spot right here. So I would say that you could drop the ball. You could drop the ball right there.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
and I'm going to say that that's regular rough there. So let's go back to the Game Caddie.
And we're gonna have to place the ball. Did you calculate that for me?
Yep, and I'll count it out for you. 20, 30, 40. So it's 340, right 10, regular rough.
340, right 10, place ball, regular rough. Holy cow, 10 feet away.
Which there's nothing really for you to do at this point.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah. And watch the dice rolls. Kill me again. 56 on the approach is an 8.
Okay.
Take the shot. 335 right in the center.
Yeah, no, ignore that. Remember, ignore that whenever you're
20 right. Yep. So it's put it 6 feet away.
Yeah.
The ball's on the green. We can go to the putting board 6 feet. There we go. We are definitely going to go for this. We've already got 6 strokes into this. Let's go and make sure we can get this one in. And we rolled a 24, which is a 28. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a 28 on everybody's card.
It's still 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Still can't make it in. And the second one is a 51, which is going to be a 23, which is going to finally be in the hole. And I think there's going to be a club thrown over the edge of the cliff. I know most of my clubs would be down at the bottom of the cliff.
For me, I might be the one down at the bottom.
Ooh, +4 on that hole. I think that is officially the worst hole I've ever done. Thank you.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've done a lot worse than that. I've had as many as 3 out of bounds shots on one hole, and there were no cliffs involved. It was just overly aggressive play and terrible dice rolling. Like that combination will get you every time.
Yes, it will. 2 penalty strokes in one hole is not what you're shooting for in this game.
Well, you got what you wanted. We had a chance to do a lot of different things tonight in terms of lessons. You got abundant practice at, how to count penalty strokes and how to place the ball. Learned how to putt from off the green using or to chip off the green using your putter.
The wind directions and figuring out when the wind, and making sure I always look at that when the wind's coming up and how to adjust the Game Caddie options to make sure I know how to take those into consideration, right?
And for newer players, what I would strongly recommend, particularly if you're going to play a course that has prevailing winds and you have to use the modified wind controls on the game configuration settings menu. Once you get to the point where you feel like, okay, I'm ready to tackle that, then remember to, when planning your shot, before you hit the all-in-one menu button, the order doesn't matter here, other than it's easy to forget if you don't have sort of a set way of doing things. always say, make sure you check your wind, see what that is, because that's going to affect planning your shot. And always check the hole notes to make sure that there isn't some sort of course adjustment that you need to make, because you plan your shot, and then after you've done all that, you realize you've got a course adjustment, then you got to start over again, mentally speaking.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. That is great information, actually.
All right. Well, Jester, as always, I had a lot of fun. I thought this worked pretty well tonight with
absolutely. Worked really good.
Yeah. So, maybe next time we go live and, add the, additional option of having people chat if they want, or root you on, whatever. And, hopefully you're up for doing this again in a couple of weeks, if your schedule permits.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely get with you. I've got a couple things I know that is coming up, but I'm always available, usually sometime during the week. So we'll schedule something for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you so much for being a good sport. And until next time, grip it and rip it.